All right, so maybe let's start our webinar for today. My name is Anastasia. I believe I have met some of you during the personal demos that we have done before, so welcome back. For the new people on this webinar, my name is Anastasia. I am one of the people who was behind the development of Bookwits. I'm also a CPB and I have my own small bookkeeping practice for which I actually use Bookwits to manage it. So during today's webinar, we wanted to break it into a few parts. The first part would be the general demo of the platform, where I will be walking you through all of the features that we have. The second part will be the presentation of our newest feature, which is the electronic signature feature. And then we will also have some time to go through the roadmap and the future of Bookwits. And as the last part, we wanted to have like a discussion with you if you would like to share your feedback or some ideas, because as we will see on the roadmap, we try to implement and add time in order to work on the feedback that we receive from the users in order to make the platform even better. So we will have some time today to discuss the future possibilities for Bookwits. So let's start our demo part first. Let's start with the first feature that we will be discussing today, which is the client's management feature. So first of all, there are multiple ways of how you can see your client base on the platform. The first list that we will see is our all clients list, which is a basic table where we can see the names of our clients. And if our clients have businesses, we'll also see the business names underneath. At this point, we can also check what manager has been assigned to this file, as well as see what team members have access. We can also check our client's contact details. The second table, and probably the most useful one, would be the company's table. Because Bookwits is being built in Canada, you will notice that we have a lot of Canadian tax terminology already built inside the platform. So in this table, for example, we can see the details such as the corporate year-end. We can see information on the GST, HST, or PST filings. We can see if we need to prepare any T-slips for this client, and many other details. Because this table can get very wide sometimes, we have an option to hide some of the fields so that we don't necessarily need to see the whole, all the information that we have on the platform at once. Or on the other hand, if you feel like some important details being missing from the table, you can simply add it back. Plus, we have an ability to create custom fields, and we will talk about the custom fields creation a bit later today. Another trick about this table is it allows you to easily search your clients. So sometimes what happens is we might receive, say, a call from the CRA, and they are requesting some information about a particular client, and maybe they have just provided the business number, so we can easily start entering the business number to identify the company that they're referring to. Same way, if someone called us, but we don't have this number in our contact list, we can easily search by the phone number, so we can simply start entering the phone number, and we will see the clients that match. The next table that we also have is the personal tax table. So in this table, we can immediately see and understand what clients we need to prepare those personal tax returns for. If we go back to our all clients list, let's also have a look at what the client's profile looks like. So for today, let's have a look at Bon Marsh. When we add a client to the platform, we're basically creating like a client card. In the client card, first of all, we will see the general details about the client. We can also add their contact list and add software credentials. The next thing that we can check under each client's profile is what companies this client has. So for Bon Marsh, I can clearly see they have two different companies. I can easily switch between them to check the details for each separately. And if we scroll down and click on Edit Company, there will also be a form which allows us to modify the information about this company. If we scroll down a bit, there will also be a place where you can start creating custom fields. So whenever we need to bring a new custom field to the platform, we simply go to any of our clients' profiles, we go to company settings, click on add a custom field, select the field type, enter the name of the field. You can apply it to all companies at once, and this table will later be reflected in the companies table that we have seen before. So besides that, for each company separately, we can also check what tasks have been assigned. We can see what documents the client already shared for this company, and we can also start sending onboarding checklists. So for example, if I have a new client and I want to send them a checklist, I can simply enter the client's email and I can start creating a new checklist, or I can use a template which has already been built by Bookwits. The template allows you to modify some of the fields so that you can customize the template so it matches your workflow. As soon as you're done, we click on save. Simply send a checklist to your client. They will receive an email with a form. They just follow the steps in the form, and as soon as it is completed, you will receive a notification. The last thing that we can currently see under each company is the guidelines section. The guidelines section can be used for either posting notes or the creation of step-by-step tutorials on how to work with this company. So you can create multiple different categories, make them as detailed as you like. You can upload links, attachments, and videos. So an example of how the guidelines can be used is if you are hiring a new person, so that you don't need to spend a lot of hours teaching them, they can always have some kind of a reference on how to work with this particular company. The next thing that we can also check under the client's profile is personal taxes tab. In this part, we can clearly see if we have been doing any personal taxes for them. So for Bon Marsh, I can clearly see I've been doing taxes from 2022 and up till 2025. For each tax year, I can start sending tax checklists, and you can create as many checklist templates as you like for different types of personal tax clients. Whenever you try to build a new checklist, there will always be a template pre-built by Bookwits, which you can easily modify. You can add more fields or remove some of the fields that we have. As soon as you are done, simply select the checklist that you would like to send to your client. Your client will receive an email with a form. So they just follow the steps in the form, and as soon as they're done, you will receive a notification. And this is an example of what a completed checklist would look like on our side. Same way as with the companies, we can also check the tasks that have been assigned for this tax year. We can check the documents that the client shared for this tax year, and we can create notes and guidelines. The mailbox section under the client's profile will be our back and forth correspondence with our client or the people from their contact list. So the platform will automatically sort the emails, so they will be cleaned from the rest of your client base. All the emails will be sorted by the emails that you provide in the client details. Our budget section allows you to also create the budgets on the platform. So the budgets will be based on the hours that we plan to spend working with this client versus the hours that we have actually spent. So you can always have the comparison, first of all, and if you provide the rates, the platform will also be able to start calculating the revenue that you're earning with this client. And if we go back to our clients list, let's also try to add the client together as an example. So say I have just received a new client. The first part would be, so we enter the name of the client. We can also provide their email and phone number at this point. And at this point, I can actually click on finish and save client. So say this is your personal tax client, at this point, I don't need to fill out the rest of the steps. So I can simply finish and save, or I can go to next. I can also add their address. If they have a company, I can also add the information on the company. So say they have Flowers Inc., their business activity will be retail. I can add their business number, their company rent, say it will be May 31st. I can add the company revenue, corporation or company key for annual return filings. I can add information on the HST and GST. So say they are GST, HST registered, they have a regular method of filing and they file annually, and they are not PST registered. The HST can also have a different year end. So maybe for this client, it's different. Maybe they have it on calendar basis. So let's make it as December 31st. I can also add if we need to prepare any T-slips for this client. So say I need to prepare T4s for them. They are not WSIB registered and they don't employer health tax. They do pay payroll remittances and they pay them monthly. I can say that they have the same address as the one that we provided before, and I can either add more custom fields or fill out the custom fields that I have already built before. Then I click on Save Company. I can review and edit another company if they have more than one, or I can go to Next. And at this point, I can also add their contact list. I can also add software credentials, and I can add as many credentials as it's needed. Then we go to Next, and at this point, I can also assign a manager to this file, and I can also share the access with my team members if I want to. After we're done, we have the last step, which is a summary and review. If everything is fine, we just click on Save, and this client will be added to our client base. If we go back to our clients list, so for cases, if you are just starting to use the platform and you already have a list of your clients, in Excel, for example, there is an option that allows you to do the import to the platform. We simply go to Actions, click on Import Clients from CSV. There will be a template and an example table which you can review. So let's have a look at what it looks like together. So an example will just give you an idea of what type of information you can import to the platform. If you download the template, it will be a blank table which you simply fill out. And as soon as you are done, you can simply upload it to the platform, finalize the mapping, review, and the imported data will be available on Bookwits. Another trick that we have on Bookwits is because different Canadian provinces sometimes have different terminology or sometimes even different types of the taxes that the companies pay. Under fields configuration, you can actually hide some of the unnecessary fields. So for example, if in Ontario we might not be paying employer health tax, I can simply make it invisible so it doesn't show up for me. Say I don't have PST clients, so I can also make them invisible. And same way you can do it for your T-slips and for some general company questions. So if we go back to the clients list, another feature that we have for easier client management is a feature that we called client lists. So this is not the same as tasks. First of all, the client list section is used for your own reassurance, so you can easily keep track of all of the files that you have. To give you an example, maybe I want to see a list of all of my December year-end clients. So I would simply enter the name. I would select the criteria as company year-end. The month end would be December. We click on Create, and the platform will immediately pull up a list of all of our December year-end clients. At this point, I can easily update the status of each file so that anytime I go back to the list, I can immediately see and understand how many files have already been completed, how many files are still in progress or in any other status. I can also add notes so that I remember what's happening with this file. And if I want to assign Blue Horizon Inc. preparation to one of my team members, I can simply click on Add as Task. I can add an assignee, set the due date, and this task will later appear in our workflow section, which we will also cover today. So same way, I can also create lists to see all of my sole proprietorship clients, a list of all the T-slips that I need to prepare. For example, all the T4s that I need to file. A list of our GST, HST, or PST clients, monthly, quarterly, and annual clients. Personal tax clients by the tax year, WSAB, employer half tax, and payroll remittance clients as well. And this will bring us to our next section, which is the tasks and workflow management. So first of all, we can see our tasks in form of a list. We can see them as a board or as a calendar. Second, I can also group my tasks. Right now, they're grouped by status. I can group them by due date if I want to see what tasks are already overdue or what's going to be due soon. I can group them by assignee if I want to check the workload of my team members. And I can also apply filters. So I can easily filter by a specific company, for example, to see only the tasks related to this corporation. Let's also have a look at what the task looks like inside. So when we create a task, first of all, we would need to enter the name. Then we select which client or company the task is related to. I can update the status of the task, and I have an ability to create my own statuses. I can add an assignee or multiple assignees. I can set the due date, and at this point, I can also start creating recurring tasks. So, for example, for my monthly bookkeeping clients, I can set up the task just once, and it will be automatically reappearing on the platform as soon as I'm done with the first one. There are two different types of recurring tasks that you can create. The first, repeat same task, means that you will always see just one task in your list. As soon as you're done with this task, the next task will appear for you. Create future tasks allows you to plan ahead, meaning that you can create, say, 6 or 3 tasks ahead. So this way, in the calendar or in your list, you will always see how much work is already planned for the future. So in the task, we can also add the priority. We can also start tracking time. And this also allows us to add the budgeted time, so we can always have the comparison of how much time we planned to spend on the task versus how much we have already spent. We can also add description, upload attachments, and we can create subtasks. Our subtasks can also be treated as separate tasks in terms of they can have their own status, their own assignee, due date, details, and your subtasks can also have subtasks inside, so you can go multiple layers of details. On top of that, when we create a new task, we also have task templates. So whenever you just start to use the platform, what we advise to do is simply take any of the templates that we have, review it, modify it so it matches your workflow, and as soon as you are done, simply save the modified version one more time so that next time it will be available in your task templates library. And this will bring us to our next feature, which is the document sharing feature. So the platform allows you to share folders with your clients. To share a folder, simply go inside it, click on Manage Access, enter your client's email or multiple emails, and they can be added as viewers or editors. Your client will receive an email invite. They need to accept the invite, and they will be prompted to our client portal website where they would need to register as a client, which is also free for them. And this way, they will have access to their client portal anytime during the year. If you don't want to share the whole folder and you still want to leave some of the internal folders not for clients, you can simply select a particular folder that you want to share. Same way, click on Manage Access, and your client will only be able to see the folders that you selected. The folders are also separated by folders for companies and folders for personal tax clients. Whenever we bring a new company to the platform, a folder with the same name will be automatically created. Same way with the personal tax years, as soon as we open a new tax cycle on the platform, a folder with the same tax year will appear. Our emails integration section allows you to connect your Gmail or Outlook to Bookwits so that they will be synced. Whatever you do on Bookwits will be reflected on your Gmail. For example, whatever you do on your Gmail will be reflected on Bookwits. On top of the regular emailing, we also have email templates, which you can use in order to eliminate the rewriting of the same emails every single time. And we also have automatic email reminders for your clients. So these reminders can be set up for multiple different purposes. For example, I can set them up to send monthly reminders to all of my bookkeeping clients. And let's try to create a reminder together. So first of all, I would enter the name of the reminder, then we enter the email subject, we enter the message, we click on next, and at this point we can select the reminder type. So it can be either custom or if I know that it will only be related to the companies, I can select all companies type. This will be a recurring type of reminder, and I want it to be sent monthly. Say I want it to be sent every 5th of the month. Then I click on next, and at this point the platform will pull up all of the companies that I have. In here, I can simply select the client that I want this reminder to be sent to. And as soon as I'm done, we click on save, and this reminder will be scheduled in our reminders list. Same way, I can also do annual recurrent reminders or bi-weekly reminders for my payroll clients, for example. Our timesheets feature also allows you to track time on the platform. So one of the ways we have seen before, which is through the task. The second way would be through the timesheets. So we can click on track time and start the timer, or for cases when we just want to add a separate time entry, we can simply click on add time and it will create a full time entry for you. You can export your timesheets and you can also filter them. So in case I want to see the total time spent working with a particular company or client, I can filter by the company name. I can select the date range and the platform will show me the total time spent working with this client. I can also update the statuses of each time entry. So for example, for cases when I want to bill a client, I can mark the time entries as invoiced so that next time that I go to the timesheets, I will remember that I have already billed the client for this time set. The budget section will be just a summary of all the budgets that we create across the client base. So the budgets will always be built based on the hours that we plan to spend working with our client versus the hours that we have actually worked with them. And if we provide the rates, you will also be able to see the revenue that you're earning. Our templates section is just a summary of all of the templates that we have across the platform. So we have our task and email templates, we have personal and company checklists, and we also have the document folder structure template. So this one is used for cases if you want to have a specific folder structure for all of your clients, you can simply build it from the start. And whenever I create a new folder with the company name, a folder structure will already be inside it.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Would it be possible to get a recording after of the meeting by email later?
Yes, sure. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank
worries.
you.
Yeah. Our another feature that we will discuss today will be our team management feature. So this allows you to add your team members to the platform and they can be added as admin users or member users. Your admin user can have access to the whole workspace while a member can have a limited access. And for your members, you can select which clients they will see, so they don't necessarily need to see your
I haven't been in town in like 3 weeks.
base.
Like, and I was working for, did this.
Our newest feature is the electronic signature feature, which allows us to send the documents to our clients from Bookwits directly. So this is our newest feature that is being released. This is basically a prototype, like a final version of this feature, which we wanted to present to you and possibly receive some feedback on the way it looks and works. So the e-signature feature will be available next week, and this feature will be an add-on to our regular pricing. So with our regular pricing, which is $49.99 plus tax per month, the e-signature will be an add-on of $19.99. So addition to the core feature. But until the end of July, this feature will be completely free, so you can use it and decide on whether you actually like it or not. So let's try to send, say I have a new client and I want to send a bookkeeping agreement to them. So let's try to do this together. So under actions, we would simply go to request signatures, and I will drop the bookkeeping services agreement that I want to send. I can add multiple recipients, and they can either, we have options so they can sign at the same time, or we can also select an order if it's needed. Say I have only one person that I need to sign this agreement, I will enter their name. Then I would enter my client's email, so I can either select it from the emails that I already have on the platform, or I can enter a completely new email. So the recipient type would be needs to sign, but we can also add another recipient who will receive a copy of this agreement. Then I can also add the message. And if I'm done with the message, I would go to continue to prepare. And here we have our document that we need our client to sign. So I would scroll down to the signatures part. And in here, I simply drag the fields that I need my client to complete. So I first of all will drag the signature. Then I also want them to add their full name. And I would also add the date field. If everything is fine, then I can simply click on, I can save as draft first of all, so I can finish it later, or I can send it to my client. And let's also have a look at what it will look like on the client side. So when my client receives the document for the e-signature, this is the type of the email that they will get. They simply click on review and sign, and they will be prompted to the document. So this would be like the general electronic signatures disclosure that they also need to read and agree to. Then we click on agree and continue. This is the type of the email that they will get. They simply click on review and sign, and they will be prompted to the document. So this would be like the general electronic signatures disclosure that they also need to read and agree to. Then we click on agree and continue. And they will see the document. So they can either scroll through it in order to read it before they sign, or they can simply click on the field that they need to fill out. So they click on full name, and they can type, or it will already be pre-selected for them. So I will click on apply signature. Then they also provide the signature, so they can draw or type it. So let's do the type for now. We click on apply signature again, then we select the date. So it will be today, apply. And as soon as all the fields are completed, we click on submit. And we will now have a look at what a completed agreement would look like on our side. So we just update our sign feature page, and we see that the bookkeeping services agreement for John Smith has already been completed. So if I go inside it, I will first of all be able to see the history of what happened with the document and the activity timeline. I can also view the document on the platform. I can download it. I can also download the completion certificate, which would look like this. I can also archive it, and that's basically the whole process of the e-signature that we have on the platform. We are also introducing the e-signature templates so that anytime you add a new agreement, you don't need to manually drag and drop the fields, but you can apply a template. So this will probably be the end of our demo part for now. As a next step, let's also review the roadmap that we have for Bookwits right now. So the first biggest feature that will be released next week is the e-signature, which we have just discussed. The next period of time will be between June 15 to the end of June, where we will be adding some small fixtures that we have received from the feedback from our clients. And then in July, we will be going into the client portal creation, which will also allow us to have the internal chat with our team members as well as our clients. We can also we will have an ability to send client tasks to our clients, and we will also be introducing internal notifications inside the platform. Our fall 2026 will be reserved for some major features releases, such as the QuickBooks Online integration, and also an ability for creation the contracts and agreements and quotes inside the platform. As you can see, we have a gap here for August 2026, because we tried to reserve it for the continuous feedback that we're receiving from the clients. So what we try to do is, besides the big feature releases, which take time to be built and presented, we also like to listen to our clients so that the platform can grow and become even better with every user that we get. So if you have any feedback during this webinar or even after the webinar, please feel free to send us emails or book another demo call with us so we can talk more about the possibilities of implementing some new features and updates. But basically, we're trying to build the platform not as a separate company, but together with the community. So this was one of the main goals behind Bookwits initially. So this will probably bring us to our next part of today's webinar and the last one, which is an open discussion. So feel free to unmute yourself or send a message in chat, and let's talk more about your expectations, your current feedback and experience, and feel free to share some ideas of what other features we can add to the platform.